Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time once again for a social sports pad podcast. I am Ricky, joined with Ben and Justin, and we are here to talk about some football.
Dun dun dun.
So
What's
it
up?
is a wonderful, exciting week in the NFL. Cuts happen Tuesday. The teams get down to their final 53. So, at some point in our podcast today, we were going to talk about a couple of who we feel are going to be some not so surprising and maybe some surprising cuts that we shall see as teams trim down to their final 53. We're also planning on tap for this podcast. We're going to talk about the situation that arose in Buffalo about releasing punter Matt Araiza. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're also going to talk at some point this podcast about fantasy football because if you're listening to this, you obviously have a fantasy team. So we're going to kind of touch base maybe with a couple of players that we feel are going to be overvalued and a couple of people that are going to be, some nice, deep, sneaky sleepers. Oh, and guys, I just got some breaking news. The Jets are eliminated from playoff contention already, ladies and gentlemen. The Jets are eliminated from playoff
That
contention.
happens. That happens every year before the season even starts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Should we
and
eliminate the Lions too?
Let's eliminate the Chicago.
well, I mean, if we had the Tigers in the NFL, then that would have been a better team than the team name than the Commanders for Washington. We could have said the Lions, the Tigers, and the Bears are eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah, already. It's sad when we have to eliminate teams already from the season. It's crazy.
Oh, and just in
Not like
from my crackhead down the block, the Dallas Cowboys are apparently going to win the Super Bowl. You hear that crackhead from down the street says the Cowboy. No, wait. Oh, wait. No, it's not a crackhead. It's just a normal Dallas Cowboys fan.
They say
That
that
one-star rating.
every year that they're going to win the Super Bowl, and they don't.
Pretty much.
It's not a symbol. It's not a logo. It's a rating.
All right, that's enough on the digs. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna talk. The teams are going down to the final 53 of their rosters. So is there any guy right now that we want to mention on, right away that we definitely feel is going to get cut from their team?
Garoppolo.
All right, yeah, I definitely agree. Like the Niners
I'm
are
not really sure who Buffalo would cut. I'm not sure who Buffalo would cut.
Well, I'm not too familiar with their roster.
I don't know. I don't know. Oh no, you're good. Oh, you're fine.
probably the biggest name out of Buffalo that's going to get cut is Duke Johnson. We signed him this year in free agency.
They got James Cook, and I see.
Well, what position does he play? Is that cornerback?
Running back.
Duke Johnson is a running
Duke
back.
Johnson. Duke
Yeah.
They have Singletary, Moss, James Cook. I don't think they need Duke Johnson. I think
Duke Johnson hasn't lived up to his potential.
Never has.
The only time he lived up to his potential was when I played with him on Madden on the Browns.
Everybody lives up to potential when you play with them on Madden.
I know.
Yeah, especially the Browns.
I literally can throw.
I took him to the playoffs.
I literally can throw 10 touchdowns with Josh Allen, and it's a video game.
So yeah, going back to Jimmy G.
Oh yeah, he'll definitely.
Where do you see him landing? Do you see him and a couple of quarterback needy teams like the Seahawks? He would be an upgrade on. The Browns, he could be an upgrade to Brissett for at least the first 11 games.
Definitely going to be a backup somewhere.
Not for the
Brown,
price that he
Yeah,
would probably command.
Browns,
No.
Browns,
he has
maybe.
a lot of
Browns,
off the
maybe.
field issues.
Yeah, definitely Trey Lance will be the starter of that team. But I could see him going to the Seahawks, actually.
Yeah, but is Pete Carroll going to deal with him disappearing
I
and
mean,
not
what do you mean? What do you
responding
mean?
to
Where
phones?
does he disappear to?
You didn't read
He
the
just
story I sent you?
Oh, he goes, dude. Everybody goes away for a couple of months or anything like that. Some people just need time. I mean,
Yeah,
look
but
at
you don't
Tom Brady.
respond to
He's
any
been dealing with
messages.
some serious shit.
Everybody deals
All
with
off
serious
season. He
shit.
hasn't been there. You're gonna say Tom Brady isn't a team player?
I mean,
Like
No,
Tom Brady's been
but
dealing with either being on The Masked
he
Singer,
at least
possibly his
replies
wife.
to text messages and phone calls.
I don't know. I don't
I mean,
think
not gonna
I
lie,
don't think Jimmy G's
with
invested in the San Francisco 49ers as we think
The
he
team
is.
literally had knock on his door and asked if he was still alive.
Oh, jeez.
oh, they did a wellness check. I mean, to be fair, like with the 49ers, I mean, they almost, I mean, not knocking against John Lynch, love the guy, but like that whole situation just kind of almost messed up, because I mean, yeah, they signed him to a nice contract, and then brought
That's
in
the
Trey
problem.
Lance. Was
That's the
like,
problem.
hey, this is the guy.
When people get paid, they don't want to play.
I mean,
It all depends
if
on who you're
I got
referring
paid
to.
millions of dollars, yeah.
I mean, I'll go back to Buffalo when Ryan Fitzpatrick got paid. Before he got whatever contract he got in Buffalo, not to jump off the Jimmy G story, but when he got paid, he was like a really good quarterback, and then once he got paid, he started throwing interceptions, so it was really bad. He wasn't the same quarterback as when he got all that money.
I mean, if you want to talk about Buffalo, talk about giving a guy a contract and then performance tanking, that don't just apply to
Look at
quarterbacks
Josh
there,
Allen.
man.
He doesn't care
Remember
what
the
money.
We
Sharon
can
era.
talk about
He still performs.
We can talk about the lineman for Washington. He did nothing. Took the money and ran.
Oh, are we talking about Albert Hainsworth?
Albert
Hainsworth, $100 million, and was like,
nope, I'm not playing anymore.
Yeah. Anyways, back to Jimmy G, I guess.
But yeah, I mean, where do you see Jimmy G going? Do you see him on a team? Do you see him on his couch? Whatever.
I mean,
where do you see it?
he's definitely talented. I say he ends up to a team that needs a quarterback, wherever that may be. I don't know. I think
he's
Seahawks.
talented, yes.
Seahawks don't have a quarterback; they need one. But is Pete Carroll going to put up with that shit? This remains to be seen.
Yeah, Pete Carroll, is he going to pull up with the bullshit? Like,
I mean, I guess he's gonna go where there's
toxic.
bullshit not tolerated.
He's not toxic. He's not a toxic quarterback.
No.
But if you have a rumor going around you that you're not around and you're hard to get a hold of, and the team needs you, and that's not good.
I mean, are they looking to move on from him?
From who?
From Jimmy G.
They already have. Trey Lance is the starter.
Yeah,
and I think Jimmy G's set to make like $22 million. So like I don't know what the cap hit and everything would be on that. But
I mean, I don't see him going to the Browns because they got Brissett. But they also got that Deshaun Watson situation going on for 11 games.
Jacoby Brissett is not bad.
I mean, Brissett's he's But by the time that Deshaun Watson comes back, the Browns will already be out of the playoffs, so that's not going to matter.
So the way I see it with the Jimmy G situation, yes, I definitely see him getting released. I do see him going to the two landing spots I see are Seattle and Cleveland, just like everybody else sees.
I agree with that.
I mean, yeah, the report that says, hey, he disappeared and they had to actually go out to his house. What that one says to me is, that he isn't really making chemistry with, with his teammates.
And he doesn't
And
care. He doesn't care.
that's kind of problematic. But in a way, like seriously, when you go into a new place like Seattle or Cleveland, are you really going to try and invest, especially team's going to probably put him on a 1-year contract?
Oh yeah, just to make sure.
Okay, yeah, that's what are you really gonna like, hey, let me, as Josh Allen did with Stephon Diggs, hey, let's play Fortnite. No. He's gonna be like, I'm gonna go in there.
Josh Allen and
I'm
Stephon
gonna
Diggs have a really good relationship. They just
and
really
it shows
click.
on the field. But yeah, like, are you as Jimmy G, are you gonna go in, or you're like, yo, these receivers are gonna be my best friends? No, I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna do my practice. I'm gonna
Honestly,
maybe do a little bit
do
extra.
you honestly watch Jimmy G play? He really doesn't. I mean, one game he didn't even throw the ball. He just ran. He just did like these stupid little check down passes. That's all he did. I mean, I think they end up winning that game. But he does these little check down passes. He doesn't really throw the ball. I think there were. I can't remember. You quote me on this or wrong, and probably our listeners will bang me on this if I'm wrong. But I think one game he didn't attempt a pass like the whole game.
I think it was one game where he was like actually hurt, and I mean, it all goes by game plan in the league. I mean, the Buffalo Bills lost last year in a game where the quarterback threw 3 times.
What are you talking about? Which one? Which game?
Against the Patriots.
They won like
last
47-6. They didn't need to throw the ball.
No, not that game, brah. The one that we got freaking rammed for the whole week. Patriots game 1 last year was played in like
game, right? They won that
Hurricane
game, right?
Gus winds, and New England won that game.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember that one. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very low scoring game.
But I mean, yeah, it's because they were playing.
Did you see Josh Allen ripping the passes through the wind though? 45-mile wind throwing passes through the freaking wind.
But
it shows how good Josh Allen is.
It goes also, game plan in a game. Like Tampa Bay a couple years ago, or was it a couple years ago, or was it even last year, where they only attempted 5 runs in the entire game?
Wasn't it against the 49ers? I'm not sure.
What?
I can't remember.
What, Tampa Bay?
I do remember that game, though.
That was against the Saints.
Oh, yeah. Because it was the first time Tom Brady had lost. I think he ended up losing that game. It was, like, really shocking.
They got the asses.
Fucking Brady.
I mean, it's like Brady and Mahomes. You cannot give them any time. You give them, like, very little time at the end of the game.
No, basically, what we learned, everybody learned from that Bills game, is that until the clock reads, until the clock reads triple zeros.
Honestly, the Bills made a mistake because they had that game. Honestly, if they had kicked the ball and left Mahomes with very little time, I don't think he would have got that. And plus the overtime.
We can talk about the past all we fucking want to about any game or anything like that, but that is not why we are here, gentlemen. We are talking about the future. We are talking about this season going up. We are talking about August 30th cut day. We're going to talk about September 8th with the Bills versus the Rams. We're going to talk about everything on that. And as a fan, and I mean, especially as a Bills fan, we have definitely had to have that not look in the past mentality.
Right. I mean, I'm glad you're here to steer us in the right direction there, Mr. Ricky.
But dude, like, I mean, seriously, like that's what we got to do. Or else we'll be talking until somebody goes, "Oh, 4 Super Bowl in a row, Buffalo! Yeah, what you guys do there?"
You hear that. I've been a Bills fan since I was younger, so I've heard that before.
No, I mean, like, I mean, it does lead to a kind of topic, like which fan base like really has like it the worst.
The Lions. The Jets.
I mean, throughout history, like, like that's something they really need to like look at on somewhere. It's basically like who is in all of these 100 greatest plays of all time? Who are the teams that are the bad end of the stick? Who are the ones that like? I think it's the Raiders that are on like a lot of them. Like the Raiders were hit with the immaculate reception. Like the Bills, we've had wide right. We've had Music City Miracle. We've had the Kyler Murray Hail Mary.
Oh God!
Patriots had the helmet catch.
Yeah, like everybody has that. Okay, that always remembered play where their team's on the other end of it. Like Green Bay had the Fail Mary, that one year. So like that'd be something interesting to kind of do, like I guess in my spare time to kind of like get that figured out.
Cool.
I'll probably have it by the end of the season. Who are the goats at being the scapegoat? I guess you can say.
Right.
Who are the Washington Generals of the NFL highlight play world?
I don't know.
The highlight play, Devin Hester.
Oh, God,
well, no. I mean, like who are the bad guys? And I refer to as the Washington Generals is because the Washington Generals, aren't they always the guys that are the ones playing the Harlem Globetrotters when the Harlem Globetrotters were around and played? Back in the day. But anyway, we've gone off topic a little bit. So other than Jimmy G, do you see anybody like big name getting released?
Nope.
Like from what I had seen, read rumors and everything like that, probably like the biggest name other than that in terms of like offensive players, Ronald Jones in Kansas City.
I've heard
Running back
about Saquon Barkley getting released, but I don't know whether that's true for the Giants. Oh,
I mean, they talked about Saquon Barkley getting released like 2 years ago.
Saquon Barkley is.
He hasn't been the same since his ACL injury.
No,
he probably won't be.
I see a lot of players going downhill, especially Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh yeah, Zeke is not as good as it used to be.
No,
I mean, I see Tony Pollard taking over in Kansas City, but not Dallas.
I actually see the Tennessee Titans taking a step backwards this year because they ain't as good as they were last year.
Oh, they're definitely taking a step back.
They're not. I mean, Derrick Henry can only run so much.
And I mean, up until his 99-yard run against Jacksonville on that Thursday night game a couple years ago, people were kind of talking about his career already being over.
Oh yeah.
People had put him to bed and tucked him in before that run, and then he ripped off the year that he had in 2021, and then
I'm not gonna say he is
his 2022 campaign was good.
He isn't really the same.
I mean, we'll see. Coming off of an injury, there are so many guys right now coming off of an injury that.
I mean, if LBJ signs with somebody, not to talk about injuries, but to piggyback off that point, OBJ is not able to play right now because of his ACL injury. So whoever signs him, he'll be on the shelf.
Chase Young's coming back.
Yep. Chase Young should be back.
Week 5?
Week 4 or 5?
Pretty sure it's week 4.
I want to know if Aaron Donald's going to be suspended from the Rams for swinging his helmet at 2 players. But apparently the Rams come out and said that he won't be suspended.
I don't think he should be suspended.
I think
he hasn't done anything.
I think that's dangerous to swing your helmet at somebody, especially even in practice.
It happened at a practice. It happened at a practice. It didn't happen during a game. So
it didn't happen on live TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'd love for him to be out.
History.
I'd love for him to be out week 1, but he's not going to be.
He's not. I mean, you're saying that as a Bills fan. You're not saying that as a podcaster. You know. Like, yeah.
Well, I meant
Aaron Donald.
I meant that as a podcaster.
All right, but still, I mean, hey, podcasters are fans too, man. But yeah, like Aaron Donald, like that situation that happened at a practice. Everybody gets heated at practice. It's the boys will be boys mentality and everything there
because of it. But anyways,
yeah, the guy has no history of being hostile or having like crazy. He's not Ndamukong Suh. He's not a Sioux player. So
definitely.
And I mean, and how many games did Myles Garrett do it for hitting Mason Rudolph? I think he got one game.
Was it one?
Yeah,
that was on live TV, so that makes more sense.
Live TV, national TV. So
national. Yeah,
Suh was always never wanted to play against Ndamukong Suh. He was always like a dirty player.
Yeah, he played dirty against Washington. He was stepping on people's hands and shit.
Oh yeah, I've heard rumors about that.
I mean, Ndamukong Suh would be the cover guy for Blitz the League 3 if somebody ever picked up the Blitz IP. Hey,
that would be great, right?
In a football game.
That would be great. Ndamukong Suh would have a team. Deshaun Watson would have a team.
Oh yeah.
Baker would be on a team as like the little pussyfoot little diva flyboy.
Baker Mayfield will never have his face on a football game. Football cover. At least I don't think so. I mean, I don't know if I don't want anybody to be on a football cover because if you've ever heard the Manning curse, everybody gets injured that's on there.
I think it's kind of wavered off since we've gone more toward the digital era.
Oh, yeah. Perhaps, yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, we had Brady and Mahomes last year.
Right. Yeah. Didn't Mahomes get injured?
Mahomes?
I think he had a concussion at one point.
I think Mahomes has missed a total of like 5 games. His career.
He didn't miss one. I don't think he missed one.
Yeah.
He was back the next week. So
all right. So
wasn't that bad.
So it sounds like we're all just in agreement. Like, yeah, Jimmy G and like the rest are kind of like, okay, everybody else is relevant.
We'll just see where he lands, I guess.
Yeah.
I think he might get cut on Tuesday. He'll probably get cut on Tuesday, perhaps.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise they pay him guaranteed money.
Well, nobody's going to pay somebody $22 million if they're not going to show up.
Or to sit on a bench.
Yeah, I mean, backups make they make a lot more than, they make pretty good money just as quarterbacks do. Just for sitting on a bench.
Let's see.
Let's get that kind of money sitting on the bench.
I'm just trying to remember what all we said that we were going to talk about. Because I really don't want to get too heavy into like the Matt Araiza kind of thing. Because, I mean, that's something to really just be put up lately.
It's very touchy.
It's very, because fine. Yeah, let's go ahead and discuss it. I mean, I was glad
Buffalo did the right thing and cut him.
I mean, it almost like they had to.
They had no choice.
I was talking, talking to my dad yesterday.
Public opinion. It definitely was like he was getting cut regardless of whether the allegations were true or not.
You're playing the Rams in a couple weeks, and you don't need that distraction.
Absolutely. I mean, even though it's an insignificant position,
honestly, I think that's why
on
the Bills
Buffalo,
didn't play well
'cause,
against
like-
Carolina. Because of the distraction.
I mean,
that was all
a
it
good
was.
punter is hard to come by.
A good punter's like Pat McAfee. Hey, what are you doing?
Bills were working out some new punters,
Well,
but
Pat
they haven't
McAfee
signed
also is
anybody
a
yet.
beast.
He is. That's why I bring up Pat McAfee. He's like literally the punt Zeus of of NFL punters.
Well, Tress
yes.
Way's pretty good too, though.
They'll find someone. Punters aren't easy. Punters aren't that hard to find. So
I think Tress Way's probably one of the best punters in the league right now, average-wise. If you think about it, like he's always in the top, at least top 5.
I mean, if you keep Matt Araiza on the team, then you're going to still have that distraction looming over what he did.
Yeah, even if he never touches the field.
Because they
Somebody
focus
might
on the
pick him
Rams
up.
in a couple weeks. They need to focus on that rather than just that situation.
Yeah, I mean,
If his name gets cleared, or
He'll
if it
sign with
turns
the team.
out somewhere else, he'll find another team.
Might come back to
The
Buffalo.
Jets.
You never know. They might sign
If
him.
his name isn't cleared and he's actually part of this, he's probably not back in the NFL.
I heard an
he's
interesting
probably
thing
going to jail.
Honestly, I heard something yesterday that once he gets cut, then you'll probably never hear from him again. I thought
That was Pat McAfee that said that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
No, that's probably true. You probably never will hear from him again.
go right ahead. You know, someone
we don't-
who,
we
you know,
I mean, that's
Yeah.
not the culture that Sean McDermott has built for this team.
that's
Bill.
not a culture that should be on any team.
I mean,
To,
you
I
probably
mean,
got
even,
one of, you probably
you know,
got one of the
even,
biggest games coming up in 2 weeks, and you need to focus on that rather than what's going on. As far as I know, in my 31 years, when my birthday is next week, I don't think the Bills have
Happy
ever
early
had a
birthday.
season. Thank you. I don't think I've ever seen the Bills, as long as I've been alive, have a season opener. So, pretty excited about that.
Well, I mean, they just started really kind of like blowing up the beginning of the season kind of thing, and
Right.
and with the Bills right now being as hot as the Bills are, like
But
the
I'm gonna
Bills
humble
are
myself because they
Bills
do,
are right now
as a
not a
podcaster,
joke.
They do have a tough schedule, and it's gonna be tough. It's not gonna be easy, and I'm just saying that not from a fan, but a podcaster perspective, that it's a tough game. Tough games. They're gonna win some and they're gonna lose some, but I honestly think they take the AFC East. I think it's gonna be close, but I think they take the AFC East.
I mean, all jokes aside, every team right now, starting off at 0-0. Yeah, everybody right now has about as even chance of a winning record as everybody else right
Except
now.
the Jets, and
You
the
know, you
Lions,
just
and the Bears,
gotta
'cause they're already done.
execute.
Just take them out the playoffs already.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like we got our people that.
I mean, the Jets could surprise people, and so the Lions could, the Bears. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying.
Oh my!
Oh my! Oh my!
You never know. Have Flacco.
Yeah, he is
This is Justin. How may I help
Super
you today?
Bowl winning quarterback.
Just checking in.
All right, 10-4. Thank you. Have a good one.
All right.
Goodbye.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, his work voice.
yeah, he definitely the work.
Got that work voice. All happy and giddily.
Yeah, right.
Oh, sorry to bother you, man.
No, you're fine. We're good. I'm back.
I love it. I love it.
Oh man, but yeah, like
Anyways,
hey, it works. I mean, this is what we are. You know, like we all have our normal, 9 to 5ers. You know, we all do our day jobs. Some of us,
find
know.
time to do a podcast.
Yep. I mean, we do it for the love of the game.
Oh,
You know, that's why we're here.
You get to talk with a bunch of great people that I enjoy doing a podcast with, so that's a plus.
All right, so we covered, Jimmy G, because pretty much that was the only person we really saw that, was going to be any talk about with being cut.
I
we
mean,
also talked
when you see
about
people
Matt
getting cut, it
Araiza, and then
probably
we'll just.
I mean, it
you
wouldn't
know,
even be a surprise him being cut either, because you just
so now we'll talk about the fun stuff. All right. These next upcoming weeks are definitely, as a football fan, the exciting ones. Everybody here probably has been in a fantasy league, or probably or has had their draft already. So right now, let's kind of take a look fantasy wise, kind of like what you have seen in some of your drafts, what you kind of see as like the new trend going on right now, and a couple of guys. And we'll go through each position. Some guy you feel is way overvalued, and some guy that is very undervalued. At each position. So Ben, do you have anything that you've seen in any drafts that you've done, or seen through the latest, seen through any like mocks or anything that you kind of say like, about fantasy football?
I have not. I never study fantasy football, but I do pretty good with it because I won my first time in my one league I joined my tattoo artist with. So I'm
Yeah.
knowledgeable in that area, but just winging shit because I know the players. I mock shit because honestly, it's a crapshoot.
not really either. I just
Yeah.
draft.
They're not always right. They're always like, oh yeah, get Ezekiel Elliott. Oh yeah, no, hell no. Ezekiel Elliott hasn't been anything. He hasn't done anything for fantasy owners for like the last 2 years. He's been utter.
Oh, I hate when I have him. I hate when I have him. He doesn't do anything.
Honestly,
something-
if I'm gonna recommend somebody as a dark horse player, I may be biased in this. I'm gonna say 2 players. One person with Washington, I would say Johan Doc Dotson. I think he's going to be a sleeper pick, late round pick, I would say, as like a backup wide receiver. And as a backup running back, the guy who just got shot, unfortunately, Brian Robinson, I think he's going to do pretty good as well. Hopefully he doesn't have a setback with getting shot, though.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a developing.
Those are my 2 dark horses for fantasy football, to be honest with you.
Okay, and you, Justin?
I'm probably gonna. I actually kind of like a sleeper. The guy from the Jets. I think Bryce Hall. I think he's gonna be. I was pretty mad when the Jets drafted him, but I think he's gonna be good. And I also think Jonathan Taylor is gonna be also good for the Colts because he's.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's gonna. Matt Ryan's really not gonna throw that much, and I think Jonathan Taylor is gonna have a career year almost.
I don't know about that
The
because
sleeper,
I
I think, would be that Bryce Hall from the Jets because I watched him and I think he's going to be very good. So I think the Jets got a good running back in him.
So, for me, a trend that I noticed is the tight end position definitely creeped up in a couple of the drafts that I had jumped in, were part of, including my my money league, my premier, definitely bragging rights league. Basically, like, I guess because of the value of the tight end position, like for a lot of people, it's definitely not easy to find a lock tight end. So,
Oh no, that's probably the hardest position to fill.
So like everybody was like, okay, Kelsey.
He's old.
Yeah, Kelsey, Andrews, and Kittle, and then was like everybody just made a run to kind of like, okay, I need to get like somebody, for the tight end position, like Darren Waller and.
I mean, Darren Waller's not bad.
Yeah, guys that I feel, that are going to be that aren't going to really do as well as they're expected. I mean, don't get me wrong; these are all great players, and I would absolutely love to have each and every one of these guys on my fantasy team. I think I even have some of them on my fantasy teams. But Jonathan Taylor, definitely, I see him. Not saying he doesn't deserve to be the number one pick. I just don't think he's going to be as like world beating
The
as
running back for the Colts.
yes, as much
Yeah.
as a lot of people are kind of like saying he
Yeah, I mean,
is.
I think he's going to be
Uh,
good, but I also think, as another point, not to cut you off, but I had something. But I think he's
Yeah,
going
go
to be
ahead.
I think he's going to be overworked because I don't think Ryan's going to throw his passes, but I think they're going to lean on Taylor a lot, and I think he's going to maybe suffer an injury because he's going to be running too much.
I wouldn't go all crazy like that. On the thinking of him getting hurt. Um, they already had like a report. Frank Wright, already made a report that Jonathan Taylor was not going to have as heavy a workload as he had last year,
Oh yeah, he
and
was overworked last year by a
and the
lot.
Colts. But then again, he also had Carson Wentz as his quarterback.
Well, he went from Carson
And
Wentz to Matt Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Ryan is not a slouch as a quarterback. I mean,
He's
of
way
the
past
two,
his
I
years.
definitely
He's
would
past his
go
years,
with, with. I mean, yeah, Matt Ryan's not the MVP level
I don't
quarterback
think
that
moving him
he
from the
was when
Falcons
he
to the
had
Colts is
Julio
going
in Atlanta.
to change that.
But again, for both Matt Ryan and for the Indianapolis Colts, they're better equipped than what they had the year before. I mean, Matt Ryan had like nobody but Julio.
I don't think
And
they're.
actually
I don't honestly don't
wasn't
think they're
even the
better off.
nobody but Julio. He like his regression happened when they got rid of Hooper. Hooper hadn't been the same either.
Austin Hooper.
Austin Hooper, who's now with the Titans. I think he's going to have a rebound year. He's actually one of the guys I'm kind of like, hey, that's one of my sleeper pickups. Because of how Tennessee doesn't have. So who?
Isn't it Austin Hooper a tight end for the Browns? The name sounds familiar.
Nope, he is not a member of the Browns anymore. He actually signed a contract with the Titans this year.
He's a tight end, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
But yeah, so he goes from Cleveland, who wasn't really getting him the ball. I mean, because there's so many mouths to feed in Cleveland, and Baker Mayfield overthrew all of them.
The ball in Tennessee.
I mean, who's there to catch passes in Tennessee? I mean, the new guy,
AJ Brown,
like
injured.
Well, AJ Brown's on the Eagles. They traded him away in the draft.
Oh God,
for that.
Eagles now.
They picked up. Yep, they picked up Robert Woods coming off of an ACL injury. They drafted a wide receiver with, player comparisons to AJ Brown.
The thing with Tennessee is that they got Derrick Henry, and then they also got that rivalry between that new backup quarterback in Tannehill, where Tannehill come up with the report from the season going, "I'm not going to help him," though that's also going to cause a rift between them. Because
are you sure that's going to cause a rift? I mean,
I think
that is the media blowing a mountain out of a molehill. I think in all actuality, Ryan Tannehill basically gave the quarterback equivalent of get good.
I take it a different way. I take that incredibly selfish that you do what you can to help your teammates out, not come out and say, "I'm not going to help you." He should be there if that guy needs something, because that's eventually Tannehill's replacement. I think Tannehill's a little salty that he might be losing his job if he doesn't.
I mean, would you be salty too if somebody like, oh hey, let's pick up Joe off the street and like, oh hey, here's your replacement, and you got to train your replacement? I ain't doing that shit.
That's being part of a team.
Yeah, I don't give a damn. If I'm Ryan Tannehill, who has been he got fucked over in
Tannehill's
Miami,
not relevant.
and
He's not been relevant.
he's not looking for this again. He's not looking for it again.
Maybe he should get
He's
better. Maybe he should get better.
like, I mean, yeah,
He has to get good.
yeah, get good, but still,
If you play
what?
good, you're not going to lose your job.
Mhm.
That's the bottom line.
But I also think that when he came out and said it, like, it's also, hey, I'm not here to help him. I'm not here to guide him. His name is not Alex Smith. Helping Patrick
I think
Mahomes.
that's totally wrong for someone to come out and make that statement. I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't know what you think of it, but that's the wrong time to make that statement because that shows you're not a team player.
I mean, it's football. I mean, it might not be professional. I mean, but you obviously also know that he probably may have said that statement, but he's also been helping him the entire time.
It could be. We don't.
Yeah, I don't know anything about out of Titans camp. I don't talk to any of them beat press writers or anything like that, but
I don't talk to
you
them.
know for sure, like, because if you ain't helping the other guy, as well as you, it's gonna hurt you because
Oh yeah. For sure.
if he is developing the wrong kind of chemistry with the ones when he practices a little bit with the ones, when it
Right.
turns around and comes game day and I'm trying to throw an out route and guy wants to go into the flat, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? That's a difference between hitting a guy for a touchdown and throwing a pick six, and nobody wants that if you're a quarterback,
Right. For sure.
unless you're Matt Schaub.
Yeah. Him.
But no, like, so yeah.
That's my opinion on the Tannehill situation.
I definitely, I definitely feel that Hooper's going to be one of those guys that's going to be talked about, as a top 10 tight end at the end of the year. Another guy who I think is very overvalued is Josh Allen. I mean, I'm a Bills fan, but I also see it as the guy has a new coordinator. All right. He had Dable for 2 years. Ken Dorsey has never been an offensive coordinator. Ken Dorsey has not had that level in actual
Honestly,
game.
I'm very encouraged with the progress of the preseason that they've made. So,
I mean, preseason. When the
but
lights are on, the lights are on, and everything like that. But all in the same. Again, I just think people are just blowing them up, and I'm like, oh hey, let the air out a little bit.
I've heard from somebody that Josh Allen isn't a top 5 quarterback, and I've come from this as a podcaster, not a Bills fan, that I believe Josh Allen is a top 4 quarterback.
Oh, by all means, I'm not saying he is dropping out of the top 3 quarterbacks.
He's a
I'm just saying he's not going to be as.
I mean, I don't put him above Rodgers and Brady because I'm not going to do that because it's not true. He's not above Rodgers and Brady. He does have.
I mean, in a fantasy world,
have some growing.
Yeah, he's over Rodgers and Brady. But
and we're talking about real life stats and real life facts as podcasters, which we should. Then he's not. He's not over Rodgers and Brady. He goes Brady, Rodgers, Mahomes, Allen. Those are my top 4 quarterbacks in the league right now.
Well. But I mean, right now we're talking about things we see in the fantasy world. We jumped into the, like what we see fantasy wise.
I mean, I would draft Josh Allen with my first pick. I would do that. You set yourself up with a quarterback that can run and throw.
I've never drafted a quarterback in the first round. That's usually
what I go with fantasy. I usually go with the quarterbacks first, and then you build your team around that. That's how I do my fantasy. Because I feel like every foundation starts with a good quarterback. You're not going to start a punter or kicker.
Oh God, I don't know how a punter would work in fantasy. But apparently they do. They do have
I'm
punters,
just
and they
saying,
do
if we
have
had punters and kickers to
coaches.
draft, you would not start with punt. You build your team around the quarterback, and you want to get them before the people take them up, because then you're stuck with somebody that doesn't even play. Especially if you have a lot of people in your fantasy draft.
I'm gonna give you a name that a few you would be like, who the hell is this guy? But tell me if you guys have ever heard of the name of Tyler Thigpen.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I've heard of him. I don't know where he
Okay,
plays.
but yeah, he was a quarterback in Kansas City.
Oh yeah, I
Many
remember him.
moon ago. But he was somebody that picked up off the waiver wire, won me a fantasy championship because he would throw enough for 40 fantasy points a game.
Yeah,
Like
some of the best people are like off the waiver wire. Because
but I mean, everybody has. But like I said, like everybody has like their things, their strategy. Mine's usually to draft 2 running backs, especially in my money league, because it's like you'll find like trends will happen, things will happen, and you gotta like ride the wave. And that
also
league
the
is just
person's not doing well, I'm going to drop
I
him.
like having at least two starting good running backs. Actually, I mean like 2 really
yeah.
good running backs and a quarterback.
I mean, tight end is the only person.
I
The
mean, I
only
like having a
position.
good team.
Tight end's the only position I struggle with when I do fantasy. Because you could never find a good tight end at all.
Tight ends
No,
are
there's
easy
only
to
like
find.
4 of them.
Yeah, I mean, people usually get them. People usually pick them up, and they're usually gone. And you
Tight
have
ends
to.
are easy to find, bro.
I mean,
I
good
usually
ones
have good.
usually go.
I usually have good luck with tight ends. Usually.
I usually almost
Well,
pick up the same one every time. Waller's probably the most I've picked up every time.
Lately, there hasn't been any good tight ends in the league, but
I mean, usually they're gone by the time I go to draft. So you have to just pick one up, and hopefully it works.
yeah. I mean, there's some given tight end names out there that you can pick up.
Oh yeah.
Logan Thomas when he's healthy.
Usually
I
the people I want somebody already has.
how do I
think the
mute
guy.
myself?
I think the rookie tight end, the Redskins, jeez, the Commanders
Okay.
picked up in the.
Hey guys,
So,
I gotta drop out.
All
All
right,
right, so, all right, so see you guys all later.
okay. Yeah.
All right, so I guess we probably should wrap it up then.
Yeah, probably.
We didn't finish everything we wanted to do. However, I think we did fine. So
All right.
I hope everybody has a great day and a great night. Now, I do want to plug our sponsor, Dubby Energy. You can look them up, and it's Dubby Energy. You can use our promo code SSPP10, number 10. Again, it's